All right, so in this informational video, we're going to go over how to do the virtual notes for this class. So this is how you're going to take notes when you're watching a video, um, a lecture video for the class. So it's pretty simple. It's not a big deal, but it is an assignment and it is something that you're going to have to know how to do. So up here, this information, you really don't need to fill anything in. This is more for when you're in person taking notes, right? I know who you are when you turn it on Google Classroom and everything. For the essential question, this is going to be something that you come up with at the end of the notes. You're going to figure out, gosh, what were these notes about? And then you're going to create a question about those notes that was answered. What was the main focus of the notes? So if the main focus of the notes, let's say, were on how World War II began, right? It was the beginning of World War II. And that's what we discussed when we discussed the invasion of Poland and the invasion of Czechoslovakia and all this. So your essential question at the end of that might be, how did World War II begin? It might be something that simple. It might be something like, how did Poland play into the beginning of World War II? That would be the essential question. An essential question is something that you generate based on what the notes were about. Okay, and you just create a question out of it. Figure out what the main point of the notes were about, and then create a question. So that is what the essential question is. Here in the notes section, this is where you're just going to write your notes as you normally would. Now, it's important that you include all of the pertinent information in here, okay, in this section. It is important that you include what happened, when did it happen, why did it happen, who was behind all of this, right? And record the important information. Now, when you're taking notes, do not write down everything that I or whoever it is that you're taking notes from. Do not write down everything that the speaker says. Do not do that. You will never get it done and you will just get behind and you'll have a lot more information than you really need. You just need the important information. It doesn't necessarily have to be complete sentences, but it does have to be enough information that you can go back and review it and make sense of what it is that you wrote. If you just write a word, okay, again, going back to the beginning of World War II, if you just wrote down Czechoslovakia and that was it, and then you went back to review it, it probably wouldn't make a lot of sense to you, right? Because there's not enough information there to explain what was Czechoslovakia, why was it important, what happened. So make sure you record, you write down the important information, and you give enough detail that you can go back and review it and it makes sense. Just words, just one phrase or a word or a name is not enough stuff. Okay, you've got to have information there so it makes sense, and that's what you're going to write in here. Again, it doesn't need to be complete sentences. You don't need to worry about structure and all of that. Just enough information that you know what it's about, and just the important information that was taken from the lecture or from the notes that were given. And then you're going to come down here. Once you've taken your notes, you're going to go back and annotate them. You're going to go back and give additional detail to them. Okay, so you can highlight names. You can underline important ideas. You can change fonts so that things pop out at you. Okay, go back and do this afterwards. This will really help you retain information. Going back and reviewing the notes after you've written them. Okay, writing the notes is a really good way to get the information. It is a fact that if you write something, you're more likely to remember it. Okay, that goes, your brain has to think about what it is that you're writing or typing, so your brain is processing all this information. That really helps you stick. And then you go back and review it, and if you can highlight it or underline certain things or change fonts so things pop out when you go back and review, that's another way to really help you make sense of your notes and make your notes useful for you, because that's really what the notes are for. It's for your benefit. It's not necessarily for my benefit. After you've done that, and you've gone through the notes, you're going to just choose a picture, an image that you feel represents the notes that you took, right? What image would you choose that best represents what it was that the notes were about? And the image can be whatever it is that you want it to be on. Okay, so you're going to post the image here. You just Google search, copy it, paste it here, and that's all you're going to do. Okay, you're going to give me the citation. Where did this come from? You just come up and you highlight up here in the address bar. Okay, you would just come up and highlight that, copy it, and then paste down here. Okay, and then you're going to briefly tell me down here, you're going to briefly tell me, why did you choose this image? What was it about this image that to you represented what these notes were about? And then finally, down here in the last section, you're going to put it all together. You're going to give me 3 to 5 complete sentences. So here you are worried about complete sentences and punctuation and all that other stuff. And you're just going to summarize what the notes were about in 3 to 5 sentences. One sentence won't do it. One sentence is just lazy. Okay? 3 to 5 sentences where you summarize what happened in the notes, what the notes were about, what the main idea was, what happened, what was the outcome. 3 to 5 sentences, not one sentence. Okay? Brevity in writing never works. Fully explain. The best way I can explain it to you is write as though you were explaining this to someone who has no idea what you're talking about. So you've got to go into some detail. You've got to, kind of explain, really flesh out what the notes are about. One sentence is not enough, not even close. And so that's it. And then when you're done with these notes, you just submit it and you're done. And then I'll review the note. I'll go over what you guys did and grade it and put it in a grade book. This is a grade that you guys will do. And this is how you do the virtual notes. We'll talk to you later.